What's up guys, Andrew here on my channel Geared Inc., where I get to share what I'm passionate about with you, and on my channel that's PC tech, games, and gear. And today we're talking about GPUs, as I feel like I have for the last couple of videos, but we're talking about it from a different perspective. So I had a video on 3 tips to get a GPU if you're a gamer. I had one on my reaction to NVIDIA trying to make sure GPUs end up in the hands of gamers, not miners. But this is a video from a different perspective. It's taking advantage of the current GPU market and the lack of availability. Now, obviously, full disclaimer, you know, I'm not saying that anybody should necessarily do any of this, but it's definitely I'm gonna share my point of view and maybe some things to consider if you're planning on doing it, to hopefully give you at least some assistance if it's something that you are gonna be going through with, and just so you understand, you know, the risk that is associated if you do plan on selling your GPU. So let's talk about the upside. So first off, obviously GPUs right now are crazily overpriced, and people are getting an insane amount of money for them on sites like eBay and Craigslist, giving them to miners. Now, obviously this is all predicated on if GPU mining continues to be as profitable as it is, although we are already starting to see some slide in the market, so it might be something, if you are trying to take advantage of it, you do that as quickly as you can. Now, as far as with GPUs that are obviously considered valuable, that would be anything like on the AMD side, the RX 570, 580, or anything in Vega, obviously, and then on the NVIDIA side, 1050 Ti and up, so 1060, 1070, 1070 Ti, 1080, 1080 Ti, all of these are very desirable because they're all very good at mining. Now, sometimes you are seeing these going for as much as double, sometimes for as much as $500 or $600 over, like a 1080 Ti right now, as far as what's kind of going on in the open market. So if you are going to be selling these, make sure that you price shop around, and then don't just go off of what people are listing these for. Look around and see what the people are actually buying them for. That's very important. In eBay, if that's kind of your go-to site, make sure that you're looking up what these cards are selling for in last history, so that you don't either overprice or underprice your GPU. Now, obviously, the first kind of person who might consider selling their GPU is somebody who has more than one. There are a lot of people who do upgrades but hold on to their old hardware or put them in older systems, and if you have a system that you're just not using that much anymore, it's definitely worth considering, because obviously if you're not getting much use out of that system, why not turn a profit? The other thing is that if you are a Crossfire SLI, it's also something to consider. Most of the time you're going to still be able to game on your single GPU. Yes, you may lose a little bit of performance, but if you're able to turn a significant profit and buy an even stronger card or stronger setup, it might be worth getting rid of your second GPU and getting some extra cash right now while you can take advantage of it. Now, the other thing where this might fit your situation is, let's say that you right now are having some patience and you just want to upgrade. It's insane that for a 570 you can get as much as $500 on the open market, because that's what these things are going for. Now, 570, which typically is going to be around 200-ish, maybe 250 cost, think about doubling your money and being able to go and buy like a GTX 1080 or Vega, if you could even find it if you're an AMD fan. But those are the kind of the numbers we're talking about here, and it merits having an open discussion to see if there's any value there. Now, those are some of the, obviously, the positives, but one thing you shouldn't do is sell your GPU if it's your daily driver. Like, if that's the only GPU you have and you need it to either work or to game, I don't suggest getting rid of it, because, you know, if you're happy with what you've got, that's not really, you know, for me, I feel like there wouldn't be enough value even if you are able to double your money. Now, another thing that we want to talk about here is it might be a good idea to sell your GPU if you have an older generation, specifically on AMD side. So if you have a 470 or 480, selling it and buying a 580 or a 570, which really is the same card, it's just overclocked a little higher, is still great, because then you're essentially getting a newer card or new card and pocketing a little bit of that cash, again, if you can catch these GPUs when they're in stock or when price comes back down. Now, other negatives on the other side of things is the inherent risk. You might list your GPU only for the market to crash, and obviously it's one of those things where if you are out there selling your GPU and someone buys it for a certain amount of money and the market crashes, that price will go down. On the flip side of things, you might sell your GPU for $500 right now, and the prices could increase. So we're kind of in that, again, weird spot. So do your research, you know, at your own risk, obviously, but it's something that we all have to consider right now, because it's just so crazy. And if you can make some money off of miners who are desperate for these cards, more the better for you, because you're just gonna be able to turn that back into your system. And so if you are planning on selling a GPU, by the way, if you are a miner, that's another thing, because miners are starting to get a little bit scared-ish, I can feel kind of right now, because the market is starting to fluctuate. The difficulty curve of mining has increased significantly. It's much harder to mine, even with a system that was profiting out quite a bit before, and so there are a lot of people again who were in it for a quick cash who are starting to sell their GPUs. Anyway guys, that was just kind of a quick thought on that. If you enjoyed this video, leave me a big thumbs up. If you didn't, go ahead and leave me a thumbs down, but get subscribed. My channel is growing faster than I could possibly imagine. Thank you to everybody for your support. It means the world to me. And you know, if you're not subscribed, get subscribed. But seriously guys, thank you so much. Remember, 1,000 subscribers by 2019, 2019, but it looks like it's gonna be this year. And I'm doing some kind of giveaway. And it's gonna be a good giveaway. Like I said, I'll try to do as much as I can afford to do. So anyway guys, thank you so much, and we hope to see you next time here on Geared Inc.